EA Sports FIFA 20 sponsors Saturday Social.
We've got to talk about it, Joe.
Yes.
KSI Logan Paul, the rematch, for those watching, will be tonight, Sky box office, of course. Joe, what have you made? You've been here all week, working with Sky Sports. The build-up this week for this event, what have you made of it?
Honestly, like, both guys have been so, well, what I've seen, so focused, so in the zone. You know, the public workout, they got in there, obviously. There were some mind games still from, like, Team Maverick, Logan Paul. But JJ seemed focused, you know. And I think they both are. They're both ready. They're both in the right place because they know how serious this is. You know, whoever loses this, they're going to be faced with an immense amount of just like, you lost, you lost. And if it's a brutal knockout, you know, it's going to be hard to deal with.
They've both said that in the build-up, haven't they? That whoever loses this will become a meme forever because there's going to be so many people watching this event. It's a lot for these fighters to lose.
100%. But I do believe the loser will be the one that grows more and evolves into a better person. Because that's what it will do to you. You know, it humbles you. It makes you, you know, you can't put on a front and be anyone else but yourself. And it really will test you as a person coming back from that loss. So, you know, fair play to whoever wins, but losing isn't the be-all and end-all, in my opinion.
And obviously we were at the press conference yesterday, all got a little bit heated there as well. Who do you think kind of got the better of that press conference? Because we saw Logan coming out afterwards tweeting about getting his head in the push and the mathematics and all that sort of stuff.
I do think it's quite interesting, especially since everyone's been in LA, all the different events like the public workouts, like you said, and there's the mind games, and I feel like it keeps going back and forth. It keeps going back and forth. Like I would have said, JJ got the better of them at the public workout, put on a better show, almost came out a bit more composed, a bit more confident. And then yesterday, Logan, I felt, was really in his zone yesterday, and I think he handled the situation very well at the final press conference. But being on JJ's side and seeing the behind the scenes, I know that he's got to a point now where he's sort of done with all the stupid talk. He really just wants to get in now and show what he's put his mind to. And I think that's where you'll see Logan still entertaining that really big show.
What have you made? You know JJ so well. I mean, give us an insight. You've been speaking to him this week. What have you made of the difference in this fight compared to the first one? Has he put it up a notch for this?
I think it's just, it really is just a change in mindset. I mentioned this previously, is the first fight before, I think he sort of maybe underestimated Logan and didn't really know what he was working with. And I think being in there for the first 2 rounds, he realised this guy does have a quick learning curve and he will pick things up quick. And especially now there's 14 months where they've both had time to train, I think there's been that switch in the mindset. And now it's a professional bout. I think it's just completely switched the mental game to this is not a joke anymore and we need to put absolutely everything into this.
Joe, how big do you think this is for YouTube? Because we saw people like Mini Minter tweeting midweek saying, you know, it's on Sky Sports, my friend's going to be fighting in front of millions of people. How big of an event is this for YouTube and both of the fighters?
It is absolutely massive. You know, the beauty of it. It's not just the two fighters fighting that get, you know, something out of this. It is the whole of YouTube. You know, the fact it's on Sky Sports box office legitimizes, you know, YouTube, the event massively. It's huge. And, you know, that's why we're all so, the whole of the YouTube community get behind it and encourage people to get behind it because, you know, it's a win-win for everyone, you know, and that is the beauty of it.
And it's not just YouTubers that are going crazy for it. I mean, the media frenzy that we've seen. I was listening to Eddie Hearn actually, and he was saying in the 10 years that he's been involved promoting and the 30 years he's been involved in boxing, this is up there with any event he's worked on in terms of the focus. And it's not just YouTubers. Justin Bieber's.
Yeah.
We expect him.
What's all that about?
He's big Logan in Logan Paul's corner, but it just goes to show that this is bigger than YouTube, isn't it? It's a huge event, this.
I think that's what the step up is now. It's like, it's mainstream. Look, you know, the public workout, the press conference, you had all the media there. You know, for my fight, I think there was one boxing YouTuber that came and a few messages from like a few newspapers, but nothing crazy. So to see, you know, where it really started from and where it is now, it's massive. And, you know, it makes you think, where is the limit? How far can this go?
And obviously we've seen and been around LA for quite a while. I have to say, from people I've spoken to, fans on the street and things, it seems like there's more KSI supporters, even in LA, and we're kind of in Logan's backyard. Not much has been made of the fact that he's the home fighter here. And I think that's a big point, isn't it? That he still doesn't have any fans, even in LA.
I think it's very interesting. I think in the first fight, I would have said that Logan was a huge internet powerhouse. And I think nowadays, I think JJ's sort of really focused his craft. Like he now, I think has a bit more of a pull globally than Logan does. And I think that's why this is a really big redemption arc for Logan. And I think he will openly admit that. And he's now coming to the top of that arc. And I think Saturday night is where he hopes to prove that he's now back to where he wants to be.
I definitely agree with that, because we were interviewing the fans throughout the week for Sky, and the travelling, it's a great point that you made. The fans that travelled for KSI, we had fans that travelled from Saudi Arabia, Australia,
Israel,
Europe, Israel. It was incredible. Even fans that are based here that were supporting KSI, more so than Logan, really, which was not a surprise because they're two huge stars. But I think we all expected, because we're in LA, there'd be more Logan Paul fans. Did you think that going into this?
I did. However, I think obviously since, you know, Logan's been making his comeback, I feel like maybe he's not been as connected with the audience while he's been trying to fix himself.
Right.
Whereas JJ, in his videos, he's so connected with the audience. He's making everyone laugh. And when you have the power to make someone laugh, it builds a connection with people. And Logan's not been spending a lot of time like making people laugh and all that. He's been, like I say, repairing himself. And I want to know, what do you think about the idea of, if Logan does win and, you know, is respectful and everything, do you think he can win over some of, a lot of the audience that currently, give him no credit?
Well, I definitely think he's already got, he's definitely, like I said, the redemption arc, he's definitely already brought back a little bit of respect for himself over the 14 months that we have been leading up to this fight. So I definitely think if he was quite respectful at the end of the first fight, to be quite honest. So I think if he does win, or whatever happens on Saturday night, and it will be the
Keep going.
It'll be the person that handles the loss or the win in the most respectful manner that definitely gets the respect of the public.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you think has more to lose then? Because we've kind of said that it's a big redemption arc for Logan. JJ's got a massive worldwide fan base. Who has more to lose for you two?
Well, I think because Logan's already been, as low as you think he can get, I think losing it wouldn't be such a big deal. Everyone wouldn't be like, oh, hey. Whereas JJ always, whatever he puts his mind to, he smashes and succeeds so well. So, and obviously the way they're both talking, like, you absolutely believe what they're saying and that they are gonna win this. I just believe the fact that because KSI has never really had that big downfall, it may be harder for him to deal with at first, but I have no doubt that he would be able to, channel the energy and come back even stronger and demonstrate, because he'll want to demonstrate that, look, just because I've lost a fight doesn't make me a loser. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
In general. And I know he would come back, but yeah.
I was having this conversation with someone just last night. I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, after it's all said and done, that there will be a horrific loser, because I feel like whoever does end up losing, the way you cope with that and the way you come back from that is only going to, like I said before, get the respect of the people that have tuned in, because this has transcended into a whole new audience. People are, at the end of the day, going to say, do you know what, fair play to these guys, because they've put everything on the line here. And then if you lose, it's about how you bounce back from that. Minor setbacks for major comebacks.
Love that.
Ooh,
Joe, we've got to get predictions as well. Interestingly, Sky Sports did a poll, 250,000 votes on this. So it's just so many people engaged, so many people absolutely buzzing for this. 65% JJ by knockout or TKO. So
That
guys,
shocked me, that.
Yeah, it did surprise you, didn't it?
65% JJ.
It's a strong percentage. What do you think? How do you think it's going to go?
Well, firstly, I feel like a lot of the time with polls, it's like more who do you want to win rather than a
that's a
calculated
very good
thing.
point.
Do you know what I mean? And
Arsenal fans are great on polls, aren't they?
exactly. But, looking at them, knowing that JJ and Logan have both absolutely committed to this, it wouldn't surprise me if it goes either way. But JJ has been on a music tour, and if you're traveling around on a music tour, you're sleeping in different places, your body clock's all over the place, you're not eating right. I don't know if he's gonna have been able to commit as much as Logan. And with Logan, demonstrating after last time, having 3 months training and demonstrating having such, potential and sound technique to an extent, having 14 months to improve upon that, while JJ maybe hasn't been improving as quickly, you've got to think logically it should be Logan that comes through and wins, given that there's no head guards and lighter gloves as well.
Yeah, big point there.
But it won't surprise me if JJ does it, because like I say, everything he puts his mind to, he achieves it in. So
Ethan, I presume
that's
you're
the
backing
thing.
your boy.
Of course, I'm backing my boy. I always will. I see the work that goes in behind the scenes, and I
Yeah.
see how much he's really dedicated to this one. I do think Logan is the danger man early rounds.
Yeah.
I do think if he can manage this time to follow up with that snappy jab, if he can come through with that, then he is a very dangerous man, because neither of these fighters this time round can take as much punishment as they did in the first round.
Definitely.
Absolutely not. So it's whether these guys have now both got the skills for Logan to follow up in the early rounds and for JJ to avoid it now in the early rounds if his defence has now got to that level where he can now make the use and counteract what Logan's going to be throwing out in the early rounds.